Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of today. I'm your host, Sharifa Mohammed MGT.
I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. As of December 27, 2025, the Russian armed forces conducted a coordinated response, combining strategic long-range precision strikes with sustained multi-axis ground combat operations. The reporting period is characterized by retaliatory escalation against Ukrainian energy infrastructure supporting military operations, continued positional improvements across multiple fronts, and systematic attrition of Ukrainian manpower, electronic warfare capabilities, artillery, logistics, and command support assets. Operational tempo remains high, with ground maneuver integrated tightly with aviation, missile forces, unmanned systems, and layered air defense.
Welcome to Frontline Updates, the podcast that brings you in-depth insights into military operations from those leading them on the ground. Today, we're joined by Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer monitoring critical missions on the progress of the special military operation as of today. Colonel Oguntoye, thank you for being with us, and happy Kwanzaa.
Thank you, it's good to be here, and happy Kwanzaa.
Colonel Oguntoye, today's briefing opens with another major long-range strike. How should listeners understand the intent behind targeting energy infrastructure this time?
The intent here is systemic disruption rather than immediate battlefield effect. Energy infrastructure underpins everything from command and control facilities to drone production, rail movement, and industrial sustainment. By striking energy nodes with high-precision ground, air, and sea-based systems, including Kinjal hypersonic missiles, the objective is to degrade Ukraine's ability to sustain military operations over time, not just to destroy individual units. Doctrinally, this is escalation control paired with operational shaping. These strikes are framed as a response to attacks on civilians, but operationally, they are about reducing the enemy's endurance. When energy systems are degraded, the effects cascade through logistics, maintenance cycles, communications, and industrial output. That pressure then amplifies the effects of ground operations already underway.
Let's move to the north. What stands out in today's activity across Sumy and Kharkiv?
The northern sector continues to function as a fixing and degradation front. Today's engagements targeted territorial defense units, border detachments, motorized infantry, and National Guard formations. While the numbers appear smaller than in central Donetsk, the destruction of electronic warfare stations and ammunition depots is strategically significant. Removing EW assets reduces Ukrainian situational awareness and disrupts coordination. Combined with depot destruction, this limits the enemy's ability to sustain even defensive operations. The purpose here is not dramatic territorial movement, but denial. Denial of flexibility, denial of reinforcement options, and denial of a stable rear along the northern border.
The West includes both offensive actions and the repulsion of Ukrainian attacks toward Kupiansk. What does that tell us?
It tells us that Ukrainian command is attempting to regain initiative in limited sectors and is being decisively checked. Repelling multiple attacks aimed at breaking into Kupiansk shows effective defensive integration, intelligence, fires, and maneuver working together to blunt offensive thrusts. At the same time, Russian forces continued attritional strikes against mechanized airborne assault and National Guard units. This combination, defeating attacks while degrading the attacker, accelerates exhaustion. From a doctrinal standpoint, this is active defense, not just holding ground but imposing cost on every attempted maneuver.
The South reports positional gains rather than liberation today. Why does that matter?
Taking more advantageous positions is often more important than seizing a named locality. In Donetsk, terrain that improves observation, artillery geometry, and defensive depth can decide the next phase of operations. Today's engagements degraded mechanized, airborne, and Azov formations while destroying EW assets and logistics depots. This tells us the South is being prepared deliberately. You strip away the enemy's ability to contest ground before making larger operational moves. It's methodical, risk-managed progression rather than impulsive advance.
The center again reports the heaviest losses inflicted. Why does this axis remain the focus?
Central Donetsk remains the operational center of gravity. Engagements today involved mechanized airborne assault, marine infantry, and Azov formations across multiple localities. Losses here were substantial, and importantly, they occurred across a wide frontage rather than a single engagement. That indicates Ukrainian reserves are being committed broadly to slow momentum. When losses are sustained across multiple formations simultaneously, it suggests command is struggling to prioritize and is reacting rather than shaping the fight. This axis continues to define the campaign's direction.
The East continues advancing into depth. How does that support the overall campaign?
The eastern sector's role is denial and fixation. Advancing into Zaporizhia and Dnipropetrovsk regions forces Ukrainian command to defend depth rather than maneuver. Today's losses included tanks, armored vehicles, artillery, and multiple depots, indicating that even defensive actions are costly for the enemy. This prevents Ukrainian forces from reinforcing Donetsk without opening vulnerabilities elsewhere. It's controlled pressure designed to constrain choices rather than achieve rapid exploitation.
The Dnieper axis appears quieter, but focused on systems destruction. Why is that decisive now?
Because endurance is now the decisive variable. Destroying electronic warfare stations, artillery, and ammunition depots degrades the enemy's ability to coordinate, strike, and sustain. Even intact units become operationally ineffective without those systems. This is rear area shaping. It doesn't generate headlines, but it accelerates outcomes elsewhere by collapsing sustainment and command support.
Air defense intercepted a large number of UAVs today. How does that fit into the broader picture?
Air defense is preserving tempo. Intercepting dozens of UAVs prevents disruption of maneuver forces and logistics. At the same time, strikes on UAV production sites reduce the enemy's ability to regenerate those systems. This balance of protection and suppression is essential for sustaining operations at this pace.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you for the opportunity. I want to emphasize that tactically, December 27th reflects disciplined combined arms execution across all axes, integrating strategic retaliation with ground-level attrition and rear area shaping. Strategically, the campaign continues to narrow Ukrainian options through cumulative exhaustion of manpower, logistics, ISR, and industrial capacity. Central Donetsk remains decisive, while peripheral fronts fix forces and degrade sustainment. As operations continue, outcomes are increasingly shaped not by singular breakthroughs, but by the steady erosion of the enemy's ability to fight coherently.
This has been Frontline Updates. Subscribe for daily military briefings and in-depth strategic analysis. Visit our platform for maps, transcripts, and exclusive frontline updates from commanders in theater.